Welcome to the Art of Conversation. It's your girl Alicia C. And we out here recording live. Yo. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Good morning. I hope you're feeling well this Wednesday. Happy June. Yes. I hope you've been having a good week. The title of today's episode is Stupid Idea. It really is. And this ain't the only one. Nothing but stupid ideas. No, seriously. What's up? Just when you think it can't get any worse, in a way it makes you wonder, what's the agenda this time? Because we are aware of depopulation, so why on earth do they keep bringing in more and more migrants? There's a lot that's not being done for the American citizens. Just swarms and swarms of migrants taking over in many states, especially New York. Mayor Adams, you suck. And I get it. You have big zaddies to answer to, but at what point do you grow a backbone and say, this is wrong, this is stupid, and what is it that we need to do to help the American people? I mean, that's what you're here for, right? That's what they voted you in for. You're supposed to help the people of your city, which is why you have to be careful of who you vote for. Now, I know, yeah, the you know how people joke and say the dating pool is filled with shit and piss. You know, so is the political pool and the government. Like, not only is it filled with piss and shit, you know, there's STDs, you know, there's discharge, there's throw up, there's a whole bunch of other nasty things in the pool. You have to be mindful of the individuals you're voting into these positions of power. So now, as a hypothetical, Mayor Adams comes up with this idea of allowing New Yorkers to get paid to let migrants live in their homes. So they think that, all right, it's a way to keep it under control. They're looking for ways to house migrants that continue to arrive in the city every week. Thousands and thousands of migrants each week. So they think it's better and cheaper to do this option. My thing is, okay, you're going above and beyond trying to house migrants, quote unquote, illegal immigrants. What about the veterans and the elderly and the disabled and the homeless, the people in these communities who are American citizens, who are from your city, your state, your country, who are experiencing hard times, homelessness, just like the migrants? Wouldn't you think that you would rectify those issues in-house first before you start saying, okay, let's go on and outsource and start bringing in the outsiders? Shouldn't you clean up and build a strong foundation first within? I don't know, that you listen, you know, we just chatting. Maybe I'm thinking too big or being too optimistic, but that's just common sense. I don't understand. You guys have a system that's set up that forces taxpayers, working taxpayers, working people, citizens. You take our taxes, all right, and we don't have control over where the money is going. So you take it, we have to take taxes. It's going towards this and Medicaid and Social Security and this and unemployment and you tell us. Okay, but when we need help, if anyone needs help, they get put through hell. So many obstacles, so many declinations. But outsiders, migrants, come in and are automatically being paid unemployment and getting health care and having a place to stay and don't have to worry about paying and this and that and that. And then again, we got to come back to the initial plan, idea, desire for depopulation. These places that are already overpopulated and you're bringing in thousands of migrants and now you're running out of spaces to put them. Not to mention that we hear so much about how they treat these places, these hotels, these shelters. They don't take good care of it. Mayhem. No. Actually, what do they call it? Gotham City, indeed. Like, explain this. We have the hotels, we have the tents and the hangar at JFK Airport. We have places of worship. They even try the gymnasiums at schools, and thankfully adults, parents, children shut it down. They shut it down. I'm glad that they did that, because I'd like to know what sense would that have made. You're basically saying that migrants are more important than American citizens and children's safety. I get it. Migrants are coming into our cities and resources are drying up, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to house these migrants. So why are you still bringing them here? Find another alternative. I don't get it. The scary thing is, how is this idea supposed to work exactly? You pay people to keep migrants in their homes. Is there any kind of like restrictions in place? Are they going to homes where there's children already there? If it's a single home? I mean, to me, it doesn't matter because that's the person's home. And you're paying me to keep a stranger here? Like, rewind, run that back. It's dangerous. So what happens when something goes wrong with the payments that you're paying New Yorkers to babysit the migrants? What happens when payments stop or are delayed? What happens when this doesn't actually work out and these people are stuck with migrants that refuse to leave? You can't illegally evict them. They claim that the amount of money that will be paid will be more than those who take care of foster kids in the homes, foster parents. What? What? Again, how dangerous is this? And for the families, and even the migrants, this is a stupid idea, Mayor Adams. Shame on you, Mayor Adams. Inflation is plaguing. Property taxes are escalating. Insurance premiums, rent, produce, everything. The list goes on. What is the real deal behind all of this? Because the migrants are living, quote unquote, an American dream more than the Americans themselves. What do we need to do to cash in on this movement? Do we need to become migrants? Like, who are these people? What is the catch here? Are they really migrants? Are they working for you guys? Like, are you considering having them stay in people's houses to kind of see the dynamic, the composition, who actually lives here? How much income are they bringing in, generating? Like, what's behind this? I see so many issues that could arise with this option. And they're being, again, it's blasphemy, because it's like, you bring the migrants in, you bring the people in, and don't get me wrong, like, I'm all for equality and chances, opportunities, and going where you can get those opportunities, whatever the case may be, and starting a new life. I'm all for everyone having opportunities and all that good stuff. But with everything that's going on in the world, in these cities and states, and the choices y'all are making is just, I think ridiculous is too nice of a word. Heinous. These are all words that's way too nice, too polite. Migrants come in, they're being paid unemployment. You have American citizens who are being denied unemployment, can't get unemployment, waiting for like 6 months to a year, 2 years to receive it because you find them not eligible for whatever reason. But these people who are not even from this country comes into our country and you pay them our money, and then they're not being charged rent. You put them in these spaces, there's buildings being built all over the place, put them there. The rent is ridiculous. Like, what messages are you really sending to people that are not of this country? What are you sending to non-Americans? Oh, we can move there and get free money, food, and get taken care of. There's no real coordination here. The government screws us up yet again. Why are we even surprised? Why are you surprised? I don't see this working. But then on the flip side of this, sense is not always so common, because you will have some people out there who would say, you know what, I have an extra room, I have this and that, and don't care. They're like, what, extra money just to have somebody stay here? But then you got to also remember, like, they made this whole hoopla about Airbnb laws for homeowners, and here you go introducing something that's similar to it. And again, you're going to have those folks who's going to say, yes, my doors are open. How much they paying? That's how much? All right. They could stay here and you just got to do this. It almost comes like illegal renting anyway, right? Subletting. So some people may not be bothered by it, but you got to let it sit in and really think. These are migrants, people from another country. You don't know what trauma, what diseases, what lifestyle, mentality. You don't know what's going on with these people, who they are, who they're connected to, who they spoke to, what their actual agenda is, what they're capable of. Let's just say this blows up in your face and it's time for them to come out. What makes you think they're going to come out? We have to come back to the safety of people, the safety of children overall. We talk about mental health and healthcare, health insurance, resources that could benefit the Americans, and somehow you never have it in the budget. Or if you do try, you might put out a pilot program and that doesn't go very far. Oh, we don't have the budget. We're trying to see what? But here you go pitching this ridiculous plan to house migrants with New Yorkers and offer them $125 a night per person because the shelter systems are buckling. Now, once again, you're going to have people who are going to be like, $125 a night per person. So if you get a family, sometimes it's not about the money, man. And honestly, he's right for saying that it's cheaper to have New Yorkers house migrants, because $125 a night per person, that's cheaper than how much they're actually paying these hotels for the migrants to stay at. So before you jump for joy and think you getting this money, really think. It's cheaper to do that than go through the hotels. So yeah, all in favor of housing migrants, say aye. Yeah, quiet, right? Damn, the mayor wasn't even going hard like this for the veterans of this country who are a part of the homeless system in this city. Gotta just emphasize that again. Who makes up a large percentage of the homeless system? Look how they treat those in that system. Homeless, mentally ill. Like, then I don't know if it's only in New York, but a lot of other states, they started taking benches and certain things away from bus stops in certain places because it harbors homeless people and da 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 da. And I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, it's beyond a slap in the face. It's beyond a punch in the face. They just shot people in the face. Shame on you. Shame on all of you for that. All of you governmental officials and people in political places who's all right with stuff like this. Because it's not affecting you. But you rely on us to put you where you're at. And you don't do right by us. The crazy thing is, Mayor Adams, he has the power to open executive order to change laws or at least speak up. So this is what you do? You do it for some things and not others. I don't know. I'm just saying. And yeah, some people be like, whatever. It is whatever. But then it's not whatever, because let's just say that this really becomes a thing and they're bringing migrants into people's homes, paying them, they're there, and okay, so hotels, tents, places of worship, this, they're in other people's houses. And do you ever stop the arrivals? Or once that is in place, the doors are open for more and more. At like when it what like why why is this even happening and a thing? First of all, we went through all these, the pandemic, COVID, this, that. Then you hear people on one side saying, oh, the border, the wall, this is this, then this happens and we're going to let them in and equal opportunity and da. But they're not coming over here with their resources. They're coming over here to use ours and take ours and just be chilling. How long are they supposed to stay here? How long is this process supposed to take? What's the end goal? Because if we're already overpopulated and you bring in these people in, what do you think is going to happen? Even more population. So how are you planning to get rid of these people? I don't get it. And then it's like, okay, they come over and, well, I understand why you would want to treat the migrants so nicely because, you know, you got to consider voting an election, right? And when they come and, oh, they took good care, such good care of us when we came here and fed us and we had insurance and gave us money every week and then you're going to vote. Listen, no amount of money is worth getting robbed, assaulted, raped, killed. You don't know these people. Drinking, smoking, drugs in your home. If you have children or they have children. Safety. Spreading disease, bed bugs to you. Destroying your home like they do the hotels. Bringing their other criminal friends and relatives over when you're there or not there. Getting them out would be a nightmare. Do you hear me? If they don't want to go. Even if the city stops paying. Okay, this is no longer a thing. It doesn't work. We're stopping payments. We're not going to pay anymore. So what happens? You're going to remove them, right? You have somewhere for them to go? You will have to jump through hoops legally. And I just gotta really emphasize and specify the fact that squatters have more rights than homeowners. That's what it seems. They could sue you for something. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I don't know what to say. Stupid idea, one stupid idea after one, after one, after one, after one, after one, after one, after one. That's why I always encourage people to have a backup plan for yourself, for your family. Times are changing, things are changing. And eventually it's going to be us against them. It's always been that. But until people actually collectively wake up and realize that, it's like, okay, stop going against and fighting each other and pay attention to what's happening here. KK, pay attention to what's happening here. Because all I see is what y'all doing is making things worse. But if we had to look, like sit back, take a few steps back and look overall into the sky, the clouds, and just evaluate everything overall. Look at all the things that has been happening since the pandemic. And let's take it back to the pre-pandemic. Let's say the end of 2019 to current. Look at all the waves we've been riding, one thing after another. Depopulation, depopulation. You want to be able to control. We hear all this talk about population control. We know that. We've known it for quite some time. We got to do it from different angles, though. The stuff with the COVID, the vaccinations, homelessness, inflation, the laws, abortion laws, the gender affirming care laws. People have to shift state to state, move around. Like I said, if you do enforce these laws for and they have, but this is when they were first speaking about it, and I said, well, if they do this, all you're doing is forcing people to move from the state that bans it and go to a state that's for it. The problem with that is more and more people are going to go to the states that it's still legal to do, which means those states are going to be overpopulated, which means eventually you're going to be squawking, bonk, bonk, that you don't have any resources, that we can't take anymore, we can't this, we can't that. Same thing with the gender affirming care. You're banning care for transgenders, so they're going to move to states that it's still legal, still offered. Eventually those states are going to be overpopulated. You catch where I'm coming from, you get it? And now you do this with the migrants. And what do you, really, what do you think is about to happen? The gun laws is a mess. The laws in place to keep criminals behind bars is a mess. Law enforcement is a mess. Everything is a mess. Prices, the cost of living, people's mental health, everything is a mess. And instead of correcting and funding the things that can help eradicate some of the issues, you're not doing. You think it's more important to bring migrants in and pay for them. What the hell? Now, we're in 2023. I can only imagine what 24 and 25 is going to look like. Seriously, if we're going at this rate. I don't know, y'all. Wake up. I'm not one who really likes or watches the news and any of these things either, because it's bad news. But you still have to dedicate at least 15 to 25% of knowing what's going on in the world, just for the fact of you need to plan and figure out, if this happens, if this becomes a thing, and as a result this is a possibility of happening, where does that place me? What? You got to start planning. It's not safe. It's not healthy. It's you for yourself. I keep saying over and over, do you really think the government has your best interests at heart? Well, you're wrong, all right? You're wrong, all right? They don't. They don't really care about us. So be safe out there, y'all. Stay prayed and peace out.